If you're anything like me, you took one look at Sandpoint, Idaho and went, yep, this is the place that I want to live. But there's lots of different areas to live in Sandpoint with lots of different types of neighborhoods. So today we are going to show you 5 really awesome neighborhoods and one that definitely is not for everybody. Stick around. Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of Living Life in North Idaho. My name is Trent and I'm a realtor here in Idaho. If you are looking for more information about what it's like to eat, live, sleep, play, and buy real estate here in Idaho, then this is the channel for you. Make sure you tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so every time I come out with a new video, you get notified. Now guys, I'm serious. Every single day I get calls, texts, emails from people just like you that are watching the channel, but they're serious about moving to Idaho and they have a couple of questions that maybe I haven't covered in these videos. And I absolutely love the conversations that I have with people. I love helping people get moved here. So if this is you and you're serious about moving to Idaho, just reach out with a phone call, text, or email, day, nights, weekends. It doesn't matter. I never stop working for you guys to help you figure out if Idaho is the right place to live. All right, guys, jumping into the video. For some of you, you have already seen this. I did this video a few months ago, and unfortunately, people were bringing some mistakes that I made to my attention, and I strive to give the most accurate information that I can, and unfortunately on YouTube, they don't just let you upload a replacement video. You have to take the existing one down and re-upload. So I figured, you know what, let's just redo the whole thing. And hopefully this will be even better information, updated pricing. So if you are serious about moving to Sandpoint, definitely stick around. So the first neighborhood, guys, that we're gonna cover is South Sandpoint. Now, South Sandpoint absolutely reminds me of downtown Coeur d'Alene. It's right by the lake, you're near schools, and it has just the same feel with some of the older craftsmen that were built back in the 1930s and 40s. And some of them have been updated, some of them have not. So for people that maybe are looking for a decent deal and know how to do a remodel, this could be a really great opportunity for you. It's a very desirable area. I know that a lot of people have VRBOs down there, investment properties, vacation rentals, and they do very, very well because it's a desirable area. Now, what I really like about South Sandpoint is you're very, very close to downtown where there's shopping and really great restaurants. You're only a few minutes away from the base of Schweitzer, and it really just has this old traditional neighborhood feel. And I know that there's a lot of really great people that live in this area. Median home price for South Sandpoint is going to be around $675,000. And of course, if you are on the waterfront, you are gonna be on average around 1.5, 1.6 million. So definitely not for everyone, but for those who can afford it, it's a really, really awesome place. Now, the next development is one of my absolute favorite out of all the developments in North Idaho. Ravenwood, Syringa definitely matches the feel for a place that I would love to retire to. Ravenwood, Syringa is not close to the lake, but you're up on a hill, you're about 10 minutes from downtown, and you get to overlook the 43-mile Pend Oreille Lake, which is absolutely gorgeous. And these properties come on between half an acre all the way up to 5 acres. So you really can have the rural lifestyle while still being in a really nice development. Now, the downside to Ravenwood and Syringa, not everybody's gonna like this, is they do have very strict HOA and CC&Rs. Now, what I wanna say about that in Idaho, because I get a lot of people that are coming from Seattle, California, Portland, and they're like, do not put me in an HOA neighborhood. Totally understand the sentiment. My first house that I owned in North Idaho was in an HOA, and they were just dumb. Their rules were arbitrary. They would just hand out fines even if nobody complained. I am not down for that at all. But I will say, in my second house that I owned, I had some neighbors, very, very nice people, still keep in touch with them, but there's no HOA, no CC&Rs, so they can pretty much do whatever they want with their property, which they do. They run businesses out of their home, and one of those is to repair damaged vehicles. Now, some people don't mind having a mechanic shop in their front yard next to or in their neighbor's front yard. But for me, that's not something that I wanted. And without those HOAs and the CC&Rs, there's nothing you can do to block it. People are very resourceful up here. They're going to make money however they can. So just be aware, if you are not in an HOA, no CC&Rs, and there's no property around you to give you a buffer, you have to look out whatever your neighbor wants to do. So just fair warning. Now, another thing that I love about Ravenwood and Syringa is you are away from town and up in the hills. So you are going to see a lot of wildlife. Probably on the daily, you're going to be seeing wild turkeys and deer. And then on occasion, you're going to be seeing moose, bear, elk. So if you're not into wildlife, this is not the area that you want to be, as well as the property size. I get a lot of people that call me and go, Trent, I want to have lots of property. And I always ask them, have you owned property before? And most of them have not. And so I let them know that when you own this property, it's not like hiring the neighbor kid to come mow for you for $10. You have to have specialized equipment, ride on lawnmowers. You have to maintain the property, especially if you have HOA and CC&Rs. And so just be prepared for that. There are expenses. It is an investment and commitment with your time. And so even though these properties look really amazing and you think, yes, this is for me, just know that the people who have really nice looking properties, they have either hired someone to take care of it for them, or they put a lot of their own personal time and effort into doing that. Median home price for Ravenwood Syringa is about $800,000. And though that might sound kind of steep, the homes out there are custom built. They're very, very nice, high quality homes that will last a very, very long time without having to do a lot of repairs. So in my opinion, if this is the lifestyle you're looking for, Ravenwood Syringa is where it's at. Another thing I want to mention about the Ravenwood Syringa is you have the Syringa Trail that encompasses the area that you can pretty much just walk to. You're going to be in the woods, lots of wildlife out there. So if that, again, is the lifestyle you're looking for, it's an absolutely awesome place to live. Next is Dover Bay. Now, Dover Bay is a very, very special place. Again, only about 7 minutes from downtown Sandpoint, but most of the homes are right along Pend Oreille River, which connects right to Pend Oreille Lake. Now, this development is for people that like to see everything exactly the way it's supposed to be. Again, very, very strong HOA and CC&Rs. There is no short-term vacation rentals allowed on this property. So the good thing is if you do buy there, you don't have to worry about an investor buying the home next to you and then renting it out to randos on VRBO and potentially throwing parties and things. But you are limited to the selection of the color you can paint your house. Your property has to look a certain way, has to be mowed. So it's really nice for someone who wants that perfect Stepford Wives looking property, but for someone who wants a little bit more freedom, this is definitely not the place for you. The cool thing about Dover Bay is they have a really, really great restaurant right on site. There is a private tennis court, pool, exercise facility, and you also have docks to moor your boat, which is highly sought after right now. I know in Coeur d'Alene, it's about a 9-year waiting list to get a slip in one of the docks. So the ability to buy a property that has a dock is pretty awesome. And I do believe that there are additional fees if you want that. But for somebody who's looking for that type of property, Dover Bay is definitely one of the nicest. Next is Mountain Meadows. Now, Mountain Meadows is definitely more of your stereotypical Northern Idaho neighborhood. For people who don't like HOAs or CC&Rs, you're gonna love it because there aren't any. But just remember what I said before. If there aren't any HOAs, CC&Rs, somebody can paint rainbows on the side of their house and there's nothing you can do about it. So hope you like rainbows. Now, Mountain Meadows is in a very awesome location. With only being a few minutes from downtown, you're right next to the YMCA and very, very close to Sandpoint High School and Sandpoint Middle School. So with that said, you just need to be aware you're going to be seeing and hearing children children throughout the school year, and usually in the summertime, because I know at least a lot of the parents that I know, they want to live close to the school where their kid can just walk to school instead of having to drive them to school. Median home price in the Mountain Meadows area is around $550,000. And again, no HOAs, no CC&Rs, but just be aware, your neighbor might not want to mow his lawn more than once a year, and you'll get to look at that Jumanji forest. The best way I would describe Mountain Meadows is it's a very nostalgic, laid-back neighborhood. Met several people in that neighborhood, and they seem just very, very down-to-earth, easygoing people. Next is Northshore. Now, for me personally, I really like Northshore. You have a diversity in the types of homes. You have some waterfront mansion type looking places, and then you have some 2-bedroom, 2-bath ranchers that are very typical homes that I like that they're in the same area. It's not a gated community, but it is fenced around it. So that means that you're gonna have a lot less wildlife that are just wandering through your yard. Still might have some, but it will be less. And what I really like about it, the big bonus is if you live in Northshore, you have access to their private beach. And that can be really awesome. Public beaches are fine, but as it gets busier up here, I find myself wanting to be a little more secluded, either on a boat or a private beach. So that's a really nice thing that Northshore offers. You're still very close to downtown as well as the public schools, and you're also really close to Memorial Field that has events and live music festivals throughout the year. Median home price is around $700,000, and of course, waterfront properties, you're going to be looking at quite a bit more than that, but for the average home with secondary waterfront, it's about $700,000. Now, for the neighborhood you might want to avoid. If you're someone who likes to have good relationships with their neighbors, likes to have some form of HOA or regulations of what you can do on your property, and does not like wildlife, A Street is definitely not the place for you. There are no HOAs, there are no CC&Rs, and so as you can see from the footage, you can basically do whatever you want with your property. You do have forests that separate you from your neighbors, and so for those people that are looking for a place like this that's away from town, you're about 20 minutes away from downtown Sandpoint, north of Sandpoint, and you don't have to see your neighbors when you walk out your door because you do have thick forest between them. This is an awesome place for people like that. A lot of the people up there, they moved up there to get away from people, but still be around like-minded people. So just know, if you want a property where you're secluded, but you still like people and you like neighbors and you like to have your property looking nice, this is probably not the place for you. I really appreciate Idaho because if I want to be left alone, I can. We respect each other's right to privacy and right to seclusion. But with that said, just know that when people feel that way, they really mean it. They don't necessarily want to have someone who's going to be dropping by cookies and be neighborly. They just want to be left alone. Median home price for A Street is around $525,000. And don't worry, you don't necessarily, if you want a neighborhood like A Street, there are those around the Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, Post Falls area, so you don't have to be all the way up in Sandpoint unless you want to be, which I wouldn't blame you. Sandpoint's awesome. So guys, that is it. The 5 highly desirable neighborhoods in Sandpoint and 1 you might want to avoid. Now, if after watching this video, you think, hey, Trent, good job, I liked it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you liked about it, and also what neighborhood could you see yourself living in and why. I want to hear that in the comments. And if you are serious about getting moved here, guys, shoot me a text, call, or email, date, nights, weekends. I have an assistant now. I've made it. I'm just kidding. She's really awesome. Her name's Courtney, and she's helping me out in case I can't answer the phone because I'm with my family on the weekends. She will answer, or she will get back to you and get you on the schedule so that we can have a conversation. So definitely feel free to reach out anytime. And thank you again for watching this video. And until the next one, I will see you later.